working on a farm up at the crack of dawn.
Now, if you remember back a few episodes, I was doing a story on the Kennedy boys. I was dosing sheep on one side of the hedge and they were baling on this other. So they were talking about getting a new round baler. So the new round baler has arrived and she's in the field here baling. So we'll have a wee look at her working. So that's her ejecting the bale, and there's another one in the chamber being formed at the minute. So she has a bale formed there now, and she's putting the plastic wrap around it. And then she starts to wrap that on her own. And the other bale is forming in the chamber again. That's her ready for transport. I would worry quite a wee bit about making payments on huge machinery like that, and I would nearly end up busking, I think, to pay it off. So if you see John and Newton Ards around the square there in Newton Ards, you usually see the buskers. Throw a penny in his hat, will you? Now, in farming terms, you have some great days and some sad days, and today I was at Saintfield with a load of sheep which are aged sheep and have maybe got mastitis and lost their udder or whatever, so you have to take them to the cull, as we call it, and boy, it's a sad day and it gets the heartstrings. Those little sheep that are reared as little lambs and brought into the world. Yeah, boy, it's a hateful day to go to market like that. But anyway, this is the brighter side of the story here. I was cutting hedges on this farm the other day and I didn't have the iPad with me here. So I had asked the farmer, I want to do that little story on that little place up there. So he says, that's all right. So here we'll go up to the top of the hill. And as you look along here, you see a bit of waste ground, and we're looking out over the coast towards Scotland here. The Mourns over in the distance there. But this is a military installation from the Cold War times. So the story behind this little place is approximately, I would say, 40 years ago. I was trimming hedges on this farm here, and I saw this little place, and I said, what on earth is that? So I decided I would nosy neb, and there was no padlock on it, so I lifted the lid, and I went down the ladder. Now this was in the middle of the day, but it's pitch black down in here if you have no light. So I had gone down in, but when I got to the bottom, I was just a few rungs from the bottom of the ladder, and I said to myself, there's a light flashing in here. And I thought, what on earth is this? Is this still a live army installation? So I panicked and came back up the steps and back out and shut the lid and went away in the tractor again. So, but anyway, they were actively doing radio, some sort of radio communications in here that 40 years ago. But it's into the ownership of the farmer now. So, and I've got permission to do it this time. It spooked me when there was green and red flashing lights going like on a console of something. And just with me coming out of the bright and down into the dark, I hadn't seen it until I got almost to the bottom of the ladder. And it gave me a bit of a spook, and I says, I better get out of here quick. And I'll take you down inside to see the inside of it here, what's in here. We're about, I would say, about 18 foot below ground. And as you climb down the ladder, and you come to the bottom, there's a little grating in here which gathers the sump water and a little pump on the wall for pumping it out because you're below ground level. And at the bottom of the ladder there's a little room. It's probably about 20 foot long by 10 foot wide. And there was obviously a communications port of some sort on there. And an air vent up on the wall. And an air vent on the ceiling. A few shelves and a desk. And the other little room here may have been a wee room. I'm not sure. So there you are. All these years later. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday today, and it's quite muggy and warm, and when the sun's out you can feel the heat burning into you. And it's also rain, so it's a wee bit of moisture in the air, which is great because we were crying out for rain. But Sunday's our quiet day, and we just take it easy. So we're just checking, strolling through the sheep here and checking how things are. The sheep are all drying off now, their lambs are off them. So they're having a well-earned holiday. The udders are a wee bit swollen here, but they're going down. Hello Grady, how are you? Now if you've rocky ground with little soil on it, this is what happens in the summertime, and we're burning off well here. Now I've just topped it there a day or two ago, so it's like an Australian landscape. Now this little field is great for a bit of inspiration. There's two wee fields here. If you're looking for inspiration to write a song or whatever, you can come and sit here below this tree. And most Sundays when the weather's nice, we would come down and sit on this rock here and reflect on where we are in life, where we're going and what our goals and what our aims are, and how important or not important they are. Now I've taken cover below the trees here in the back garden because the rain is just little spit spotting. Enough to stop a combine. So we've had some amazing weather, and the combines have been out round the countryside. I was down Portaferry yesterday, outside Portaferry, Lochshore Road, Marlfield, to get a few more shots of that lovely big combine with the tracks on her working, and there was another one working in the district. There's a wee shot or two of it as well. So when the sun shines, you have to get those, because there's today, beautiful yesterday, and today it's raining, all work stopped. So you have to snip with the camera when you have the chance. So that's what I'm going to leave you with, a few shots off the loch, the Strangford Loch, the Mourne Mountains and the combines. So that's about it, folks. Tune in next week for Sheep on a Shoestring part 82. And as the oil farmers would say, or the Ulster Scots boys, if you hanny och else today, ca in with us.